Previously on Dungeons and Dragons.
Whoa.
Our misplaced and lost adventurers wade their way through the underground territories known as the Ditch here. Potentially, ideally, hopefully, for one of their final days within the space. As they ventured through the cavernous region, managing to make it to the other side of a vast chasm, eventually discovering another tunnel, which eventually brought them to the old remnants of the original campsite that the dredgers once called home. Eventually, while wading through the remains here, found a significant stockpile of dispersed currency throughout the chamber. A number of ramshackled, kind of flotsam and jetsam of broken furniture and occasional shackled and hobbled together tables. And while investigating one of the nearby barrels of kind of old rations, Arthur was suddenly wrenched away by a large creature that seemed to be made of muck, gore, and bone that dragged him into the darkness into one of the northern tunnels. You followed suit, finding him just barely managing to break free of the creature, readying himself for battle as you entered into this chamber that seemed to be kind of hobbled together as a kind of makeshift lab and office space, as remnants of old alembics and vials and small tinker tools used for, alchemy, whatever, for those of you that might have proficiency with alchemy, which I don't think is anybody here. Just an array of different tools and things that all have either rusted or crumbled or been shattered, covered in mud and filth. You fought intensely to try to fight off this crawling grave, eventually remaining victorious, destroying the creature, concluding your search for more goods and forgotten objects requested by other members of the now current campsite. After collecting these varying different goods, including one haversack, which I believe Bourgeot currently carries upon his back as he carries all the different metal shrapnel, the kind of arcane dust that was discovered, and the occasional, random set of tools, hammers and nails that were collected, anything of value that you thought might be useful back for the camp. Eventually, from there, you decided to head back towards the cavern and the chasm precipice to try to further explore the one last unexplored tunnel after much deliberation. After several hours of traveling and worming and wading through this tunnel, eventually you found yourselves stepping out over kind of a ledge-like overcrop where it kind of looked down into this massive chamber. On the furthest side of the room, you saw some of the largest doors you've ever seen. Round and ornate, covered in runes, and what almost even more quickly caught your attention was what filled the very walls and floors of the chamber between you and this vast door. Covered in slime and blood and gore and random bits of tissue and bones, almost undulating across the entire chamber. And in a previous fashion, you all debated on what would be your next best move to move forward, to back trace your steps and try to find an alternative way to cross the chasm. In kind of a fit of impatience, Bourgeot just shouted, "Fuck this!" and hopped down into the chamber and started making his way over towards the other exit point of the chamber. One by one, you all followed suit, and as Borgia was approaching, nearly making it to the exit, suddenly the ground began to undulate ever more fervently. You started to feel almost a rumble all around you, a shift in the ground and the walls, and suddenly rising through the very filth and muck itself appeared not one, but 3 crawling graves, ready to consume you. They dashed forward, striking at you. You all broke into a run, and after a couple of attacks and some nimble dodging, you managed to make it into the tunnel where the series of barricades you had encountered before lie currently, providing some kind of aid and protection from sight. And as the last of you started to make your way outside of the chamber, the crawling graves seemed to almost retract back into the very muck from which they came. And eventually, pressing further forward still, you found the remnants of your makeshift campsite here at the Watch Post, which is where your characters currently reside. You're all finally getting maybe a relatively decent night's sleep after the intense past 2 days that you've had. As you prepare and begin to awaken, to then prepare to start making your way back to camp and prepare to charge the ditch gate. With that being said, I'm just curious who's going to be the first one to wake up, so go ahead and give me a rollies, guys.
Alrighty.
You're never waking up again, Casey.
Hey Aaron, real quick, my the Dawn Light that I have, it's a +1 short sword. So does that mean I have a +1 addition to hit? So like my normal plus to hit is +5, so I should have +6 to hit with that sword?
Technically, yeah. If you click on the weapon and then click on modify, you should be able to add +1 to hit and +1 to attack. That way it'll actually have the right numbers.
Got it.
So everybody's super sleepy, and it would seem the first one to stir is Gabriel. He begins to step upright, donning his armor, looking around at a number of you. And with this being said, can I have D's and did Gregor to make a rollies?
I had a 4.
You had a 4. Okay. So D's, you're the only one who can potentially do this. Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Alrighty. Oh, come on. The other one was a 20.
Aww.
Well, damn.
That's disadvantage for you.
Yeah, with a 5, you do not see...
It was almost 2 20s.
There's a kind of light shimmering and burst. It's almost like the camera pans away from Gabriel for a moment. We just see his silhouette kind of cast against the wall. The light, firelight, shining the small bit of light here within the chamber. And suddenly there's a small, kind of almost Lumos-like illumination for just a moment as we watch as a wave of white light spreads through this small space and then retracts. Kind of pan back to see Gabriel's eyes filled with that same kind of white bluish light as he overlooks the entirety of the party now that he has a moment of solitude to be able to do it. One by one we watch as his eyes glaze over facing towards Arm, and then Arthur, He stops for a moment with a bit of surprise. Lingers for a moment. Passes over. And he comes to the corner where both Archimedes and Gregor currently lie. And suddenly you see a look of... Or what you don't see is a look of disgust and disdain for just a moment. And I'll say, as his light, the light in his eyes begins to fade, it's about this time that Archimedes, you begin to stir and awaken.
Sure. I'll wake up and have a look around while I'm putting all my stuff back on, and then all of a sudden be like, wait, didn't we have one more person here? What's going on?
As you shift and move, you see, kind of leaning up against the wall, hand very clearly resting on his battle cross on his hip, as you begin to be the first one to stir and move, and he kind of almost instinctually places his hand on his hip. As you start to turn and kind of realize and see him in this moment, standing there at the ready.
Okay. What's going on?
Nothing. Sleep
You
well?
good? Yeah, I slept well.
Good.
Let's get the show on the road, I think.
Agreed. He seems to... Give me an insight check.
Ho 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 ho. Nat 20.
God,
20. I mean, his demeanor has been kind of mixed since you've met him. Through the couple of conversations you've had, some of the things he's witnessed you perform. But whatever kind of unsureness he seemed to have had before, he seems a little bit more confident and carries a little bit more disdain in the tone of his voice as he speaks to you. But that's what you notice.
Alrighty.
Funny.
I start trying to wake up some of my friends here.
Easily done. Gregor's the one closest to you on your right. So yeah, you walk over and kind of nudge Gregor a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of give him a shake.
Yo, we getting up.
Yeah, time to get up, bud.
Okie
And if you're not like whispering any of this, I'd say everybody would slowly start to hear you say this aloud to Gregor and begin to kind of sleuth the sleep from their eyes and begin to stir. The small remnants of the makeshift burning wood that you repurposed from the previous campsite now kind of starts to burn down to just a low red ember. Now providing very, very little light within this darkened space. But luckily, per the shape of this little watch post, has managed to retain a decent amount of the heat from the flame, even up until this point. So, and
Yeah, I'm re-drenched, right? We're able to get me hydrated.
well, maybe when we get back to camp, you'll be able to get hydrated.
Or we can pee on you.
Didn't
Yeah,
Chris,
or we can pee on you.
I thought
Didn't
Chris-
I change my thing?
I'm
I mean, a good way to figure that out would be to, one, check your spells. Two,
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
if you did, maybe RP that a little bit. Like, hey,
I just remember
Yeah.
sleeping or something like that.
So, Gregor,
Yes.
watch this.
Whoa! Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
What does it
Can I
look
have
like
some?
as you are doing this?
I kind of give like one of those Doctor Strange circles or whatever, and then a bunch of water just like shoots out at him.
Okay.
10 gallons, that's a lot of water.
Get knocked over.
He's like, oh, I'm wet now.
Just soak it all up. Goes away.
As the water kind of splashes into him, obviously that 10 gallons is a lot of water. I don't think you're that spongy, but you definitely feel rejuvenated and rehydrated. But we do hear the kind of splash of water on soil as it spreads out, and even a light hiss as it starts to enter into the coals of the fire, putting it out entirely. The room itself
thanks.
is somewhat beveled down to the fire point, so
Appreciate that. That's going to be very useful. You're a lifesaver.
Enjoy.
Refreshed.
I will go up to Gabriel and hand him like half of my rations that I have left, so he has something. Give him a little bit of
your rations.
my rations,
Yeah.
and then me and Nicodemus will eat the other half. If he wants it, I don't know if he wants it, but I'm sure he's hungry.
He looks
There you go.
down to his left, you towering at a full 3 feet high, as he reaches down and collects the half bit. Thank you, little one. I appreciate that.
It's not much, but when we get back to camp, there should be more. It's all we got now. We're on our way back. So. Did you sleep well? I mean, I know you probably didn't because this place is pretty bad. I mean, I didn't really sleep well either, but I slept.
I can say the same. I managed to get some sleep, and you kind of see him look over, casting a quick glance over at 2 particular party members.
I turned to see what he was looking at.
Give me a perception check on that one.
Alright.
If you can fine-tune in on what it is that he's glancing at.
Come on. No. 4.
I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe people were putting some armor on, just caught his glance for a second. You're not really sure who.
Alright. Well, we have probably half a day, quarter of a day journey. We should be there very soon. So I think everybody's almost ready, and we'll probably head out.
Yeah, here, hold, let me...
Oh, and,
Get it.
Arthur,
Yeah.
this sword. And I hold up the sword and I go, what's the word? I go, wake nozzle. And it lights up, like light spell has been cast on it. So you don't need to use any torches now. You can save what few you have, and maybe we won't have any more incidents.
Oh,
like
my word. That is...
Earlier. So,
That's
here we
great.
go. And I just hold it out so we have light for our journey.
Beautiful. And this little watch post is filled with that kind of radiant light, giving off that kind of orange or red hue once again. So you all stir and awaken, you don your armor. A couple of you eat a bit of rations to rebolster your energy and reserves for the day. What would you like to do?
Oh, we should head back now if everybody's ready. Borjo, you ready?
Here, Borjo, come on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright.
Let's fucking do this. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in that bag. Is it really heavy, or... I know you're strong, but...
It just feels like a backpack.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can't believe we found something like that. It will be.
Absolutely. Let's see.
And did Arthur...
straps?
Did Arthur track all that gold and silver that we found?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Alright.
Well,
So-
everyone.
I'll lead the group since I have the light or something.
I'll be right behind you.
So this is like we're fairly familiar with this way. Well, we were there several days ago, coming back through this way. So
Oh yeah. You guys are lightly familiar with the path. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, things do seem to shift and change, but for the most part, it hasn't done so greatly since you've been here.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I'm getting everybody.
my soul's being sucked out of me. It's horrible.
Yeah, my
So-
word, it's terrible, terrible. I didn't know you were able to salvage any. Wow, fantastic.
It was
Good with
lucky.
your hands.
Well, I am quick with my hands.
I gotta watch out for you, huh? Ha 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 ha.
You should.
Oh. And Borgia, my god, you are one, how do they say it? Ballsy move, bro? I like your game.
I have no mofo balls. What?
I think it's like a term meaning you're not afraid to step forward and do stuff. Something like that.
I'm a firm believer in act now, think later.
Ah,
It's a
quick
motto
on your
I live
feet.
by.
Well, it's gotten you this far. It'll get you further.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I do want to stress, like, I'm no master of strategy, but I do agree with Arthur. I think a two-pronged attack might be beneficial. Granted, I also agree with Aram. We should coordinate with our numbers, find out what people are capable of, how they can contribute. But, and I don't think this group, as he looks to all of you, I agree. I don't think we should split up. I think we function together as a team well. But we have more numbers now. Ideally, if everything goes well, we'll get back to camp.
Oh,
If
it
a number of
absolutely
them
will.
can potentially start to head out, maybe get positioned where we were when we entered the chamber, time our attacks. Ideally, we're obviously going to have to coordinate. As you said, we're going to need to rest. They ideally, hopefully, are at full energy. So perhaps they can start making their way there now and prepare for battle. I mean, ideally, I want to get out of here as soon as I can. So, honestly, I'd like to spend a day preparing and get the fuck out of here.
Oh, absolutely. The more prepared we are, the greater the success.
And we know from our journey that it could probably be done in a day, maybe day and a half.
I have great confidence.
But again, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I'm not the leader. I'm just saying I think having that vantage point to some degree might be beneficial. Because honestly, on the way down, that thing was way too slanted. I don't see us being able to get back up there from the ground level.
Agreed.
But I don't know. I used to climb a lot as a kid, and I could see me having some trouble there. So for some of us that are not so the little frog-legged, if you'll pardon the pun, Greg, I don't know if that would be a viable option. But I digress.
And Gregor.
Grabs his head because his head hurts.
How far is that chamber? Like from the entranceway to the precipice? Like how far was that? Was that really far?
From the actual the overlook to the gate to the gate?
To the entrance to the chamber by the watch post where we exited there. Like how far did we have to run from where we dropped off to the exit where we left?
Well, again, remember these tunnels aren't necessarily mapped to scale correctly, but
yes,
it happened pretty quick.
I treated the map as though it was accurate until you guys got basically past that first barricade. And then from there it was a little bit more loosey-goosey. But I would say maybe a minute or two from that first barricade to in a light sprint to the actual watch post.
Okay.
Give or take.
So that's several hundred yards then, probably, right?
Give or take, yeah.
Okay.
But again, I agree with you, Arm. Let's coordinate with our numbers. Go from there.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think we should split up. I think we should hold true. We've done pretty well down here so far, and I think with just a little bit of extra help, I think we'll get even farther. So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We need to make haste to the camp to prepare.
Absolutely. As you guys are walking through the tunnels again, having conversations, it's been roughly an hour or two, I'd say, at this point. You probably got another hour or two before you actually make it to the kind of crossroads in the tunnels. So before I jump, any other side conversations or questions walking behind?
Gregor, it's great to see you so rejuvenated. I was getting worried for you there, buddy. But,
Yeah, thanks.
You see a number of his skin peels that are kind of like sticking on like old glue that's
Gross.
just been partially pulled off.
Gross.
But underneath these little skin flakes, you see a much more rejuvenated and moist flesh beneath bandages and whatnot.
so, Gregor, I kind of had a question. Like, why do you dehydrate so fast?
I'm just born this way. It's something with our skin. I'm not too sure. Really, the cause of it. It's genetic.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we just like water. We're from. I think our ancestors came from the water, probably.
I come from the water.
Do.
Nice.
Well, it's great to see you in better
He's
spirits.
a frog, not a toad.
And always got your back, buddy. Okay. If you
Appreciate
need
it.
help, just let me know.
Likewise.
Sweet.
As Arthur and Gregor are kind of having this kind of heart-to-heart and a moment of camaraderie, if I could have Borgio and Arthur, or not Arthur, Borgio and Aram make a perception check.
Dirty 20.
12.
12. Aram, you don't really notice this at first, as you kind of are kind of looking over your shoulder, kind of catching small, glimpses and bursts of this conversation between Arthur and Gregor. But suddenly you feel a hand go on your chest, kind of forcing you to stop in your tracks, and kind of pushes you off to the side while gesturing to the others to move. As you start to realize you were approaching the ingress point of the tunnel and approaching that crossroads. And there, barely visible, lightly shifting and moving, taking steps forward with a molasses-like pace, you see what could only be described as another mud zombie, beginning to
These
shift
things again.
and step and walk. If I could have quick stealth checks made by everybody as you guys kind of sidestep to try to avoid detection.
Fart Noogle.
You turn off the light.
Yeah, I'll turn off the light.
Alright.
Maybe it won't see me. Help it with us or stealth.
Theoretically, I would say that you could sheathe the blade and that would kind of hide the light for a time.
Okay, that's what I would probably do. Because if I'm gonna go to if I'm trying to hide, I'm not gonna leave the light out. So I would
100%.
probably sheath it. Okay.
So we're doing a group stealth check.
Oh my god. I rolled 3. And then I rolled a 9.
Borjo got an 18. And Arthur got a 5. 10, baby!
Okay, so
Nice.
just tracking everything. That is a... Yeah, because I can't see what Aron's rolls were for some reason.
I rolled, I don't know, it was weird. I clicked it once and I rolled twice. The first one I rolled was a 10, and the second one I rolled was a 9.
Okay,
I don't know which
so
one you want to take.
We got we'll take the first one, so a 10.
Okay.
So we have a 10, we have a 5 from Arthur, a 13, a 6
18.
from Archimedes, and an 18
Joe.
And one second. Come on. Where is it? One second, guys.
Dude.
Alright. Alright, I need to look at this. So your average, from what I'm tracking, is 13 plus. Where's my damn game log? Game log. Alright, so we have 13. We had plus Aaron had a 10 plus 5 plus 13 plus 6 plus 18
Oof.
6. Oof.
Yeah.
With an average of 10.83, the mud zombie clatters, and you watch as you guys are all hugging against this wall. You can see again its light silhouette being cast down this tunnel from one of the kind of luminescent pustules growing along the wall, casting just the ever so lightly visible shadow, incredibly elongated from the distance from where it stands, from where you all are. Its shadow seemingly almost facing all of you as you are all kind of lined up against the wall, trying to be as quiet as possible. You see a small bead of sweat beginning to drip down Aram and Borjo's face, leading the group. Stands there, quiet, shifting its head left and right. A moment's pause, and then it starts to maintain its previous path as it was going before. It seems to be going, taking a right at the next junction, or continuing its path in that direction. You believe that you were not discovered. With a passive perception of 9, it did not see you.
Nice.
Barely squeezed past it. Oof, that was close.
A minute, 2 minutes go by, even at its relatively slow and lethargic pace. After about 3 minutes or so, you start to feel as though it might have put enough distance between you and the party to continue on your journey.
Good eyes, Borjo.
Of course. So you guys stealthily,
Most
as much as
impressive.
you can, start to try to make your way back towards the camp. You recall this was like another hour and a half, 2 hours from this junction point back to the makeshift barricade that Yezhin had constructed at different points along the camp. And there was a thing here that I wanted to do, but Logan's not here, so I'm not going to do it. Exactly. Yeah, no, we'll hold off on that. again, you have about an hour and a half journey at least, at moving fast pace. So this would be a non-stealthy movement. But theoretically, you feel as though that you'll probably get there maybe by midday, if you maintain the current pace you're making.
Sure.
Now, again, one last opportunity before you arrive at camp. Any side conversations, inquiries, strategies, etc. that you would like to discuss?
So,
Nothing?
Gabriel,
Aye.
just to let you know, the camps, we should be there soon. But, I was just, so, are you like a man of justice? Or like,
Some might say that.
or is this a path
Not
of,
necessarily the words I would use, but
well, what words would you use?
I am a man. Just a man. Somebody that wants to do anything within his power to be able to help those in need and destroy things that spread darkness through these lands.
My word, Gabe. We are one of the same coin.
Indeed, and I
Even if-
must confess, I've wanted to have a conversation with you. And please pardon the intrusion, but I couldn't help but notice after some of my spell work that you seem to carry something celestial about you. It's not something I've ever seen firsthand before. Have you always been this way, or is this a recent development?
I've always been like this. Grandfather, my father and mother, all of us.
Well, hold on. Oh shit, yeah, natural 20. I've heard, but I've never met one of your kind. Are you, again, and I apologize if this is rude, but are you a downcast?
I absolutely am. And there is no rudeness about it. We have always accepted that title, so to speak, and I am going to make something better out of it.
So, you've actually experienced the heavens.
Just a bit of a touch. My grandfather has taught me a lot from the times before me.
I see. So,
And I plan to continue this path and bring the morning stars
so your
to
your
term.
parents were initial downcasts. Are you saying you've never been to the heavens yourself?
No, I have not.
Strange to meet a potential celestial. I mean, again, I've only heard tales of your kind. I've never met another like yourself. I definitely would like to learn more as opportunity provides in the future, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely, I would be delighted to experience an exchange of enlightenments.
Well, I don't know if enlightenment is something I can provide, but perhaps a path is something I can provide to you in the future. I think my organization might benefit by having somebody like you around. If you're interested.
I already am, to be honest.
Very well.
Since we're one and the same, might as well try to experience more. The better I can make this world triumph will come.
Well, tell me, have you heard of the Brotherhood? And technically, if I recall, everybody rolled for knowing what the Brotherhood was, and only Archimedes succeeded on that roll. If I remember correctly. But
Yeah,
he turns to you and says,
right.
Tell me, have you heard of the Brotherhood?
With all due respect, I have not, but I would love to learn more about this brotherhood.
I'm happy to share what I can. And as you guys kind of progress further still, he kind of gives you some of the basics of what the Brotherhood is about. You can tell there's a certain level of vaguity or vagueness to some of the information he's providing. Very much, broad strokes. Talks of camaraderie, of fighting guidance, finding a way to kind of push back the darkness that has been consuming the lands of Atharis. And a stress that, for him at least, that this has been the best path before him to allow him to make change and to save lives. So you do get a very basic understanding of what the Brotherhood does. From what you can tell, they seem to be an organization of kind of monster and creature hunters. They destroy. Actually, I'd say that as you guys begin to approach the barricade of the actual camp itself, he's kind of wrapping up this story of him taking out this massive beast that was both man and wolf that was attacking a nearby village before he encountered the entity that had slain him. And
oh my word! That's such a great tale.
As it kind of goes from that to possible inquiry into more about what happened to him and how he ended up here in the ditches, that's when you guys first start to see the campfire light kind of trickling through the barricades as you all begin to approach the campsite.
Gabriel, look, camp's up ahead. Haha.
Wonderful. Sanctuary. Maybe another minute.
Indeed.
And one by one, you're all quite familiar with how to safely traverse through the barricade without actually getting cut and scratched and marked up. And one by one, you all start to enter into the campsite proper. Unlike last time, Yejin is not currently working on this barricade, but seems to be... Where did I put Yejin? There it is. Seems to be over here off to the side in the distance, kind of currently working on something. Limner Tor is technically placing out meals for the other camper for midday feast. Coral kind of at Limner's side. Sesher is still working and tending to their plants. Kragner kind of off to the side, not too far away from Abradis, who currently works on a nearby project, and Kragner and Gustav seem to be in deep conversation about something in the distance. And Doyenta is nowhere to be seen.
And she's in her chamber, probably. Yeah. I would beeline first to Sesher, because I want to give him the route.
Sesher kind of turns, if you guys are all moving together as a unit. Presumably.
Hey, Sesher.
Hello. How can I
Well,
help
I think it's more like, how can I help you? We're in luck, and I reach into my pouch and I'll pull out the clump. What is it? 3 hefty rooty chunks of bioluminescent fungus. We found this on our journey. It seems to be alive and living. Maybe you can do something with this.
Indeed. As the head kind of outstretches for a second, an arm and extends out, and again, one of the few times across the very long sleeves and baggy hood that covers Sesher, you see a hand extend out right through the cloak as you get close, because you're kind of looking up at it, and you watch a semi kind of wooden hand, like a mannequin, almost reaching out and collects the roots from you.
I never really dealt with Sesher, so it's a little awkward, a little weird, but here you go.
Excellent. This could help us out greatly. Yes. I might be able to actually... Let me do some experimentation with this, but this is exactly what I've been looking for. Thank you.
Sure. You probably have maybe... Well, we're ready to... You know, we just went to y'all's first camp and got a lot of supplies, and so we're returning with all the supplies. So we're probably ready to assault the gate and get out of here. So, I mean, we don't need anything. You won't have much time, hopefully, to even be messing with this if needed. But just letting you know.
Well, some
Our
light
plan.
experimentation, but if we are trying to move out within the day, maybe I can find some more immediate ways for this to be of assistance.
That might be better.
I greatly thank you, but...
I'll let you to it, Sesher.
Absolutely, and immediately they go over to kind of one of the nearby makeshift flower beds, and they begin trying to kind of almost clone off bits of the roots from each other to start some kind of growth. And immediately you watch as their kind of wooden hands spread across the soil and above the makeshift roots, and you start to see small little, like not necessarily pustules, but small little caps begin to kind of sprout from those spaces that they were just kind of tucked into the soil. And there's a kind of light bioluminescence that fills the, kind of half of the chamber as they all start to grow at an accelerated rate. What I will stress and what this has accomplished is that now that you have provided this to Sesher, whenever you take a long rest here at the camp, you will now be able to gain an additional 4 hit points per rest, and you gain an additional hit die per long rest. So now every long rest here at camp will earn you 9 hit points as opposed to the 5, and you will get 2 of your hit die.
On the last day.
Nice.
Yep.
And as Aram is talking to Sesher, like as we all walk in, Arthur's gonna announce, "Hello, good day. We have come back bearing goods and gifts."
Let's see, so as you're kind of shouting this, as you're kind of walking into the centralized part of the room, you can see Limnor kind of looking up from the table as they place a nice rat haunch on the table. You can see Yezhin kind of turn to look over his shoulder as he kind of covers with kind of makeshift scrap and small bits of tanned leather and canvas to obscure whatever it is he's working on over here. To see your approach, obviously you get Abradis' attention. There's kind of a light rocking of Gustav's head as it repositions itself over to be able to see where the shouting is coming from, and Kragner looks to her right as well. They all stand longingly waiting to hear what presents you've brought them.
Yeah. We have successfully voyaged to the other side, and we have found your encampment. We have brought all the goods that were there for us to utilize. We have metal, we have swords, we have clothes, books, chemical
There's
stuff.
clothes, rags.
We even have additional rations. They were still good.
A metal tin with glyphs, and it's got chanting dust in it.
Over here. Abradis kind of gestures towards you. Do you approach?
Yes. And
Borjo's got the stuff, so.
I nudge Borjo as we're going over there. Come.
Borjo would follow then. Aram started to kind of chime in, so I presume he at least walked in that general direction a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to Yejin, wherever Yejin is. Give him his stuff.
Alright. So you start walking there. Let me knock out the whole Arthur and Borjo thing first.
Yep.
So,
for sure.
Arthur and Borjo begin to approach as Abradis calls them over. You found more materials.
Absolutely. Come on. Borjo, let's pull out the goods from the pack.
He pulls his pack down and opens up the large flap on the top and starts reaching in. Kind of almost half of his body kind of goes into the bag for a second. As he pulls out
I kind of hold on to his feet.
Large set of scrap, like kind of bundled scrap of metal and rusted spearheads and metal pole arms, things like that seem to be relatively intact, just rusted and worn from the passage of time. And you guys provide, how much scrap was it in total?
26 pounds.
We found 18 pounds of metal to give to Abradis. We found that in the pit.
Yep.
And then we found more stuff when we got to the camp as well. So we found quite a bit. So it'd be more.
So
I only wrote 18 pounds of metal. I didn't write any weight value for what we found at camp. I just wrote we found nails, cloth, hammers from the abandoned forge. We found a metal tin labeled glyphs. We got the haversack, and we started to store all the stuff we are gathering for the camp. And we stuffed arts and crafts stuff and random clothes in there as well.
Gotcha.
this is a true blessing indeed. I know with those excellent craftsmanship, this will provide for great success. Eh?
Indeed, this will help greatly. I can use this to forge more armor and weapons for others here. This is fantastic news. And he kind of looks at because Borjo's just pulling shit out of the bag left and right, hammers, nails. Yeah. Eventually, he pulls out some of the paint set or the colors that were found.
Yep.
And you see, give me an insight check, Arthur.
All right. 17.
17. You see a kind of mixture of happiness and a light somber look spread across Abradis's face as he sees that in Borgio's hands. He reaches out, his kind of wrinkled and dirtied hands from the heavy smithing he has been doing here within this space for who knows how long. Kind of reaches out, holds that for a moment. May I?
Oh,
Borgio,
absolutely. Right?
Borgio gives him a concurring head nod as he pulls back the colors and looks inside. And as he kind of shifts and moves some of the colors, and there's I think it's varying different paints and chalks, and underneath the chalk seems to be a small little piece of parchment that he pulls out. And you watch as he begins to read quietly to himself. He closes his eyes and a single teardrop drips down from his eye.
Aww.
Are you an artist? Is this your stuff?
I
mean,
was, as I said before here, I was not, smithing was not my trade. I've learned out of necessity, but art was never truly my passion. Give me a persuasion check.
Alrighty. 12. Yeah.
12. Based off of your notoriety and the fact that you have already accomplished most people's goals here in the camp, 12 it does succeed, as he seems to kind of hesitantly Arliana. These were hers. She was a love of mine, and
Where?
I never got to say goodbye. And these were with me when I found myself here in this place. I was never able to return them. All I have of her is here in this box. I thought this long since gone and forgotten. I thank you for bringing this back.
I put my hand on his shoulder and look him in the eye. I am so happy that this is returning to you. She will always be with you. And I'm always here for you, brother.
If we could somehow leave this place, maybe one day I'll actually be able to see her again.
And you know what? We sure will leave this place. Because we are going to light the beacons of hope and blast out of this place.
You know, I think part of me actually believes you when you say that.
Of course, because it's true. Have faith and believe in yourself and your friends that are around you.
Well, in my ability, my belief is not the strongest, but I've seen what you all are capable of, and I must say I think I'm beginning to develop a little bit of faith in you. It's been countless days since there was any possible hope of leaving this wretched afterlife behind. And I think for the first time in a long time, we might have a chance. And Borgio, kind of being almost moot to the emotional moment that Abradis has. Just kind of like
He's like,
is still digging through the bag, pulling stuff out, and ends up pulling out the kind of small little coffer or chest or box filled with the magical dust, and Abradis immediately recognizes that. You found it. Excellent. I might be able to enhance some of your goods with this. Let me. I'll collect that from you, and whenever you've decided, come and let me know, and I'll start working on that right away. Speaking of which, and he turns and walks back to his tent for a moment. And you start to hear kind of a shuffling and moving of tools and different pieces of armor kind of being shifted and moved. And then suddenly he comes out, flicking out a newly forged rat hide armor for Borgio. As
Bourgeois, look!
And it's very much got the kind of like Owlbear Man kind of almost Batman cowl, where the rat face literally like halfway covers up the top of the head.
That's awesome!
All the way down to where it looks like the top half of his head is rat, and eye holes through the actual face of the creature. And the skin kind of would continue down, and it forges a relatively fine hide armor. I mean, as well as Abradis can forge. So, if you would like to add that to Borgio's armor or inventory, you can add 1 hide armor, which I believe is technically
That's
better
medium.
than the armor he has. He has a chain shirt, but I don't know, I'd have to look at the book, but I'm pretty sure I double checked last time.
Hide should be better than that.
Well, if Hyde's like a light armor, doesn't he get benefit?
No, Hide's a medium armor.
Yeah, it's a medium armor.
Barbarian, is he unarmored?
Mm-mm.
No, he's wearing a chain shirt right now.
He's an armored
He's also
barbarian.
medium.
So, with the hide armor, technically, which chain shirt is also technically a type of medium armor.
The chain shirt
is technically better.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I will say, just for the sake of flavor, is that integrated into the kind of hide armor is an inlaid of chain shirt. So if you want to just modify his chain shirt to say rat hide chain shirt, that way he still gets the flavor, but doesn't lose anything from it.
Gotcha. So I will do that. Okay. Rat.
You can call it the rat cowl. But yes, as
rat cowl.
Rat cowl. Like bat cowl,
like
but rat. COWL.
Yep, that's what I have.
But yes, you and tell me. I don't believe I ever asked this before.
What the hell?
You and your party have a title or name of some sort?
Not yet.
And he looks towards you, Arthur, as he makes this inquiry.
A title for ourselves.
I'm curious, just if it's easier to address you by particular. I mean, I've known many groups that had their own title. I just wasn't sure if you were one of them. I don't believe I ever asked.
Well, I mean, I don't think we've really established that yet. We were mainly focused on making sure everybody was good to go. Restoring hope here. I must conversate with my compatriots and we'll figure this out.
I see. No, again, no pressure. I just never asked the question, so I thought I'd ask. Well, once you
it is a good question. Yeah.
compatriots have had an opportunity to converse, come and see me, and I will happily implement this arcane dust to help enhance one of your goods. Until then, I'll go ahead and get started on repairing and forging new armor and weapons for those here at the camp, and begin to start spreading the news that tomorrow we will set forth towards the Lich Gate.
Absolutely. Oh! By the way, we have a new member to add to our family, as I like to call it now.
Oh, the member of the Dredgers, you say? Who is this new ally?
His name is Gabriel. Gabriel! Come over here!
You see Gabriel kind of staring into the firelight, trying to warm his hands. He looks over, and with heavy footfalls, steps in your direction. Hi. Hello.
Here's another fellow holy warrior at heart. Freshly arrived here, and my gosh, he stood his ground like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
You make a great asset to all of us.
Holy is a bit strong, if I do say, but I can hold my
come
own.
on.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And Abradus kind of holds out a hand, shake hands for a moment.
Yeah.
I been here for a couple days and managed to come across this lot, and they've been pretty helpful with getting around, and were kind enough to bring me back here. I greatly appreciate your hospitality and willingness to welcome me to the camp. I thank you. And Abradus just gives him kind of a solid head nod. If you need anything, any armor or weapons, please, I'm more than happy to provide. Just give me time. If I don't have it in stock, I can simply try to forge it thanks to these wonderful people bringing us some new materials. So Gabriel looks at him and stresses, if it might be possible, I wouldn't mind seeing if there might be a way to enhance this, but only when you have time. And he kind of gestures towards his battle cross. But until then, I'm gonna go over here. It looks like they might actually be serving some food. I'll be back. And
Yeah.
starts
Good food.
to run over to the table here, and seems to be less interested in the food, and seems to be kind of more flirting with Limnor at the table.
Hello there. Right?
Pretty much a full-on hello there. And then, so you receive that information. Cragnir, kind of quietly listening in the background, kind of occasionally whispering something to Gustav. Gustav occasionally whispering something back to Cragnir. But you have that conversation and unload a great deal of the scavenged goods, providing a massive heap to Abradus. And before I jump into Arin approaching Yezhin a few minutes before, Is Gregor and or Archimedes doing anything?
No. Just getting ready. Helping out whoever needs help.
Alright.
I was gonna go visit. What's her name? I forgot her name.
There is
Rosetta?
Ragnar, Doyenta, or Limnor.
Doyenta, the one that I'm trying to riz.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's the one that's back there, right?
And so a couple minutes ago, you just started walking through the camp and just broke off from the party and started heading towards the kind of makeshift cell that has become Doyenta's home and archaeology
Hey, girl.
site all in one.
Yeah.
You kind of approach the large wooden door with the cast iron metal bars that create the window and kind of gently give the door a tap. You can see Doyenta seemingly fervently writing across some of the scrap parchment paper that she has here. Definitely writing like full squib, tiny little script as you walk in, and she barely uplifts her nose to see you approaching and entering into the space.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm back. Did you miss me?
Oh, hello. Miss is a strong word, but how can I help you, Professor?
You missed me.
Give me an insight check. You do have advantage on those.
Yes, 14.
14?
Damn.
So you... hard to read. She seems to be intrinsically locked in on whatever note-taking she's fervently scribing down.
She's
What are you
nerding out
working
right
on
now.
here?
In this moment is probably the first time you see her brighten up as you ask that question. She's like, look, and she stands up and kind of rushes over to the side of the room. Some of the kind of caked and hardened soil and mud has been kind of peeled away to reveal more and more script. I think I found... Well, I'm not sure what I found. It seems to be a reference to somebody of great import for this city. The name I'm still trying to discover, but look here. It's very similar. This particular script here is very similar to Old Estoyan, whereas we see on this side a very similar script to the writings of the Charnal Kingdom. I believe it is a, and again, I have very few points of reference for this, and my Charnaltian is not the greatest, but I believe it translates to, let's see here, she's double checking her notes just because she wants to be 100% sure. I believe this says Casimir. And she looks and kind of tries translating the other line, Sun Drinker. And as she kind of peels away another small bout of soil, just above it there seems to be kind of almost a pictographic or hieroglyphic-like carving into the stone above. And you see it's a very, very rough carving, but you see a figure standing tall with staff in hand, wearing robes, outstretched shoulder pauldrons with a kind of wreath in the shape of almost a sun around the back of his head, and the face is almost skull-like.
Wow. I think you've uncovered something important here.
I think so. I'm not familiar with the name myself, but clearly the individual was of great import to have such a large section here dedicated simply to him. From what I can tell, he was some kind of high priest, archmage, somehow related to the royal house, whether he was royalty himself or simply an advisor, I'm unsure, but definitely somebody of import. I don't know. More research is needed, but it's very exciting.
Yes, very. It's good work.
Thank you, Professor. And how was your journey?
Well, glad you asked. I mean, we made it by the skin of our teeth, but now we're back and planning our assault, and I think we're gonna get all of us out of here.
When?
Within the next day or two.
Really?
Yeah.
And she kind of stops, looking at her notes, and kind of looks almost longingly at the wall for a moment. So much still left to learn.
She can stay here if she wants.
This is good news. But well, I thank you for coming and letting me know. But then I think my time is very limited, and I must dive back into my work. I apologize, but this is fantastic news. If I see others in the camp, I'll be sure to let them know. Is there anything I can do to help?
Just be ready. That's about it. Be ready to go.
I can do that. I'll collect my notes and my belongings. Yes, I'll prepare. Thank you, Professor.
Winked at her.
Give me a persuasion check.
22.
22. Probably the first time that you've been down here and trying to lay the riz on her. You do see a bit of light blushing across her cheeks as you wink, as you begin to head out the door. Beautiful.
Oops.
And as you start to head back, I think Gregor said that he just wanted to kind of help around the camp. Are you looking for opportunities to help, or are you just walking up to a particular person and offering aid?
Yeah, just offering aid to the closest person near me.
That'd probably be him.
Sesher seems to be focusing on trying to enhance the growth of the plants that were provided by Arin a few moments ago. Limnor seems to be trying to lay out and prepare, this meal for the others, whenever they come and approach to gather this food. You definitely see Gabriel already kind of over there trying to lay the riz on her. And you see Arthur and Borgio kind of wrapping up their conversation with Abradus. So you don't really see a lot of like hustle and bustle yet because you guys really have just gotten here and the process is just kind of starting. But if you just kind of want to hold back until you see an opportunity to kind of jump in, that's totally fine too. Just want to give you opportunity to do something or talk to somebody before I jump in to Arn and his thing.
I'm okay. I'm just chilling. Just
Okay.
getting myself psyched up. Battle.
All right. So staring deep into the flames, contemplating the future ahead.
Yes.
Aaron, a moment after you speak with Sesher, you walk over and see Yezhin kind of tinkering and working on something as, or he was a moment before as he starts to kind of cover everything, turns to greet you. Ah, Aaron! Wonderful.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. We made it back from the camp. I managed to find the last bits of things you needed. So,
Excellent.
and I start reaching into the pack, and I get the components for the blasted trap, and hand those over to him. I got these, and then we also found the little knapsack, and I pull out the all knapsack, and I handed that to him too.
He collects the knapsack. I mean, the excitement that he had after you gave him all the components probably pales in comparison to when you hand this to him. And he just kind of pulls it close to his chest for a moment. He looks down and kind of almost traces the engraving of the owl. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, he looks around. I've been anticipating your success. You've been doing so well so far, and with that being said, I think I might have something that can help us in this final battle here. Here.
That's great.
Gestures you over to the whatever it is he was working on that's covered in random debris and random bits of canvas, and starts to pull things off as he reveals a relatively decent size kind of mountable kind of makeshift crossbow.
Oh, cool.
Aye, that's what I said. I think it'll be pretty useful against the Gate Guardian.
Yeah.
We just need a good vantage point for it. Make sure we can safely mount it. But I think this bad boy can do some serious damage if used properly.
Yeah, I think we can. I think now that you mention it, I think I have a good idea of what we could do with it.
Aye, what's that?
Well, there's a overlook, so we were discussing maybe splitting us up, and one group go towards, I guess you call it the main entrance into the gate area, then the other group goes to the overlook, and from the overlook, that would be a good vantage point of the whole situation, and that would be a good spot to mount the crossbow somewhere there. Getting it there would be the tricky part, but if you got it there, we would be okay.
Yeah, how would it get there?
Well, luckily it is transportable, but I'm going to say that Archimedes kind of walks up as this moment is happening, kind of chiming in, going, "How would it even get there?" And he responds in kind, "Well, it's actually transportable. It does take a few minutes to set up, but I don't know if perhaps me, Limnor, maybe Karagnir started heading out before night's end. We might be able to get everything positioned and ready for tomorrow. I couldn't help it over here. Arthur's discussion with Abradis, apparently that's the plan."
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll probably discuss it over one dinner or something. We'll all have to gather together and discuss our plans. But we should at least plan, because going by the skin of our teeth really is how we've been rolling, but it's always good to have a plan.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm all for preparing for possible contingencies.
Hmm.
Then how about during midday meal we have a sit down. I'll go around, start gathering those around camp, and see if we can properly lay down some strategy.
Sure.
Right. Well, this is good news. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent.
I also wanted to poke my head in with Abradus and ask him if he can if I can help him make me just a few arrows. I don't need many arrows, but if we can make some arrowheads and I can fletch together some arrows. I mean, I have a dozen, but I wouldn't mind getting at least 6 more or something before we go. I mean, many.
Let's see. All right. So, first things first. Gaijin starts to kind of run off, kind of heading towards the way that the professor came from, seemingly going into for the midday meal. You and presumably the professor kind of walk over to the camp if the professor's sticking with you. And I'd say, again, light bit of conversation as Abradus kind of already has started jumping to work in terms of forging spearheads, daggers, things of that nature. You'd actually see a strange looking kind of almost like a camper style, like barred backpack, where they have like the frames around them. It seems to have this strange kind of almost mounted cup-like basket, almost like frisbee golf style basket, resting at the top. As you approach, he kind of shifts that over to the side. Aram, how can I help you?
Oh, good day, Bradis. I just wanted to know if you could fasten me up some arrowheads. I just want maybe like 6 extra arrows before we go into this battle. I don't need that many, but I would like to go with something extra just in case.
Well, using the previous scraps you've provided, I actually have some here. And he reaches into the back and provides you a bundle of 20 arrows.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you. This do everybody else need these? I don't need this many. I mean, I'm happy to take them, but if we need more to go around, I'm more than willing to share.
I mean, the amount of materials you provided me before was enough to make a significant number of arrowheads. It's more a struggle of just trying to track down and find proper materials for the arrow shafts, but we managed to find, unfortunately, a number of different bones and other things that could be carved, and with the help of Karagnir and some spell casting, we managed to kind of get those shaved down and properly formed. So we have a significant amount of arrows in stock, enough for everybody to receive a decent bundle.
Okay. I didn't want to feel like I was taking them all. Okay, that's good. I really appreciate it, Bradis. And I believe we're starting to gather in a bit for midday meal, but we wanted to all discuss a battle plan or strategy for the upcoming events. So I just wanted to throw that out there too to you. But thank you very much for the arrows.
No, and he places a kind of heavy hand on your small shoulder. Thank you, and your friends.
Thank you.
And Abradus stresses, let me finish this here, and I'll join you for midday meal.
Can I bring Gustav? If Lemnor isn't bringing it, it's Lemnor, right? Or is that Kragnor? Oh, no, it's Kragnor.
Karagnir is down there talking with Gustav. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to notify them, I mean, they kind of overhear, the conversations going on with Abradus. So presumably they're going to head over and join for the midday meal. So
Okay, Gustav should come, even though Gustav doesn't eat.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
Arin,
Arthur.
Bourgeot, Professor. Let's go over here by Greg real quick. We gotta have a talk about our title.
I've got one in mind. The Mighty Boosh.
Borgio kind of gives a head nod and follows the professor over as he pitches that idea towards you three, because you guys aren't all together yet. But do you guys head over to the campfire per Arthur's request?
Yeah.
Alright. So one by one, you guys kind of walk over as you're kind of gestured to meet over here. And gather around the fire. Karagnir starts to head over for midday meal, brings Gustav, sets Gustav at the edge of the table as they're preparing. Braid is still working. Limnor's still getting rizzed on by Gabriel, so Gabriel's technically off in the distance. And the five of you gather around the campfire. So what are you on about, Arthur? What a title?
Yeah. You brought up a good point over there. Everybody looks up to us for hope, guidance, and we've made ourselves renowned here. They're asking for, what is our team title? I don't know. I never had time to think about that. Any of you guys know what might be fitting to our style? Gregory, you look like
Mighty
a big
Boosh.
nut.
The Mighty Boosh.
The Mighty Boosh. That does come off the tongue in a unique fashion. Boosh.
What is a boosh?
I don't know.
Borgio kind of scratches his head.
It's us.
Like where you go to the bathroom?
Not a bush. Boosh.
I thought it was like a really strong bush of some sort.
Oh, are you talking about boosh as in like how I jab my spear? Whoosh! Like that?
Yeah.
Something like that? You strike fierce and hard. Arin, what are you...
Confused.
I'm with Borjo. I'm a little
Gregor.
confused.
This sounds cool.
I have no complaints on anything.
Oh, you said we bring hope to others. What about hope bringers?
Ooh.
The hopefuls. No, that sounds like a...
Now that sounds like a
Lame-
fairy tale.
a lame bard group. The one-hit wonder. Yeah, what Arthur said. What do you think, Harm? You got any suggestions?
Star
I don't.
Squatch.
I don't. I would think Mighty Boosh is fine with me. But, I don't really have any suggestions.
How about Burning Hope?
How about we just stay part of the Dredgers?
Call ourselves Dragula.
Dragula.
If they're the dredgers, then look up to us. Might and
Because
we're
we
mighty.
dig through the ditches that burn through the...
We are the mighty dredgers. Amplifying their title, never forgetting where we came together from.
Yeah.
Gregors, you're awfully quiet. You have this unique focus about you. What is up? Oh, is John not here? Oh shit.
He's that deep in focus.
Ah. Let's see, this is
What about what about the ditchside delights? No.
What? Sounds like
That just
we're,
makes me think of Afternoon Delight.
Are we
Hey,
thinking
Now
of the
you're
name of
just
the
making me
movie?
hungry. Now I'm hungry. Really hungry now.
yes.
Ah.
We're trying to think of a title for our group.
Like I mentioned the Hope thing. Maybe like Beacon of Hope or something, and that's kind of like a party name. Beacon of Hope.
It's a cleric spell.
No.
Oh, that's where I heard that from. Nah, Mighty Boosh.
Bash. What about the Sparkle and Sod Soiree? Too much?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think we've been together long enough to really like have a party name. But I don't know. Can you really just make one up after?
After being together for roughly 3 weeks, I mean that's a long time.
Yep.
Especially here in the ditches.
I can't think of anything original. So
There's 5 of us. Like the 5 chambers
Steel
of the
Team
heart.
5.
The burning heart.
I mean, have we been in here 3 weeks, or I thought it was like
Twilight Dredgers. No.
How about Dawn of Hope? I mean, we are the kindle that sparks.
Hope Trope.
Hope trope! Whoa!
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of deliberation required here.
Huh.
The Twilight Revelry. No.
Kind of a big deal.
Ooh.
It is.
I like that.
I don't know. Just
What was that again? Twilight what? Twilight what?
Revelry.
Twilight Revelry. We arise from the twilight to scourge the path for others. Like that. Huh. Oh.
oh, versatile, or a little bit of everything.
Naming things was never my strong suit.
Dang.
I mean, I never thought about it. I was just always responding in action, looking out for others. That type of thing. I mean, to be honest, this is like the furthest I've kind of like been away from home. It's a bit new to me, but I feel like it's destined, you know?
And to be fair, we don't really know exactly where we are. I mean, we know it's.
We don't need to.
ditches.
We need to know where we're going, and that's out of here. With everybody.
Fair.
Haha! I did good.
I've always heard, when we were kids, that, you would pick like some kind of color and combine that with some kind of animal name, like the blue griffins, or
The Red Badgers.
yeah, basically the same principle. Although I think I don't know if I want to be a badger.
I don't know. Badgers can be quite fierce, like we are.
I don't know. I feel like that. We should start collecting ideas. But again, are we voting on this? Or are we just, for right now, are we just going to call ourselves the Mighty Boosh?
Sounds good to me.
Change it.
I don't know, but what?
Oh, I'm just been looking up some. I just posted them in Discord.
Oh, did you?
We are the MCI.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
That's fucking awesome.
I never.
How about we just go with
letters? Huh?
How about we just go with the mighty ones? I mean, everybody thinks we're great. We can just start off like that and then expand later.
Oh, we are Bo.
We are Bo.
Mo. Mighty ones. Mo.
Ah, catchy.
I knew a Mo once. He owes me 20 gold. I don't know. People might think that you think we're taking like too strong a stand, saying like mighty ones, like what happens if we, gods forbid, happen to lose a fight? That's
Well, then we learn from our mistakes and we'll continue. Sometimes failure can be the ultimate teacher. That's what my grandfather.
I'm a firm believer in that as well.
That's what makes one mighty.
I think this is a decision that has to be made with more thought. Maybe we find a wizard. Tell him to name us. They're pretty smart.
Yeah.
And you don't think we're spots?
I don't think I'm that smart to come up with a catchy and respect, name that instills respect in the, power.
You underestimate your
How about
power.
the Sultans of Swing?
What's a sultan?
What's swing?
Swing. We are the Sultans of Swing. Burn out down.
Aaron knows what the sultans of swings are. Borjo does not. He does not know what a sultan is, and he definitely doesn't know what swing music is.
Just like another bard thing. Are we making bard jokes?
Order of the Stink.
This is the adventuring group name generator.
I found this site that you can make. This is totally off topic. This is hilarious. You can totally go in, tell it what the business that you do. It'll come up with a business name and a fucking logo for you. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
How about the Dungeon Surveyors?
Alright. I got a couple I can pitch. Stormguard Sentinels. Shadow Hunters Guild.
The Rising Dawn.
Dawnbreak Defenders.
Dawnbreakers.
And the Sunfire Squadron.
Ooh. Squadron. Squad. That's squadron. Squadron's more.
Fair.
There's 5 of us. We're a squad.
Shadow Slayer Squad.
About to get the fuck out of here.
OCC.
Do what?
We are the OCC, the Odd Cousin Champions.
Uh-huh.
ETFO.
We need something that's catchy with where we can use like what do they call it? Is it anagram?
Alliteration.
Alliteration. There we go. Where we can just use alliteration, so we don't have to say what we are. We could just say we're the OCC, or the MB.
The Grim Guardians.
The Lost Dogs.
The goats.
Greatest of all time.
Yep.
We are GOAT.
We are greatest of all time.
Well, the goats.
Yep, there you go.
I'm thinking. This is a hard one, guys.
Yeah, why'd you ask this question?
It was Arthur who asked the question. I was just answering it.
Hey, they're the ones that were like pressuring us into it, and it just makes sense to like boost the morale, you know?
The Fellowship of the Ring.
I don't get it.
What was the quest? What were we supposed to get originally? What was the item we're supposed to get for the first quest? Crown or necklace or something?
It was a type of diadem, I believe.
First time I ever heard that word.
Same.
Sorry, it's like a crown.
There we go.
Fellowship of the.
Did you never read Harry Potter or see the Harry Potter movies?
I saw the movies. Like
The crowning.
One of the
crowning sun
Horcruxes that Voldemort made was a diadem.
Oh, okay.
The little crown that was hidden in the Room of Requirement.
We have the thing now, isn't that around Borjo's neck?
It's like it's embedded in his flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fellowship of. Obviously, I don't know. Of Crown.
So what? We got to get Borjo to Mount Doom and throw him inside.
I mean, theoretically, yeah.
I mean, that was technically a mission that you guys received before you guys, in essence, got killed.
You want to be opposed to it, you know.
Yeah.
He's always been Poe.
I don't think on a priorities standing, survival and escape are the biggest priority right now. Not a half completed mission that could have paid some money. But
The bamboozle.
How about Knights of the Sun?
The Moolish Fortals.
Radiant Rangers.
Moonlighters.
The Radiant Ones.
I do like Moonlighters.
The Pain Brigade.
He's in company.
The Pain Brigade.
We bring pain to those that make others suffer.
We should be Adventurers Anonymous, so we have our weekly AA meetings.
Yeah, we're A.
What does AA mean?
It's Adventurers Anonymous.
Oh, right, yeah. That's us, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Radiant Crew?
The Dusk Blade Brigade. No. The Vale Vanguard. Or Crimson
Dude, what the fuck is with all these dumb names?
That's a good one.
Which one? Crimson Crusaders.
No, this one. What is it? The Dungeon Reclamation and Gold Obtainment Network. You need a job done? Call Dragon. Yep. It's kind of cool.
I do like that.
We are the dragons.
I just don't know if I can spell that second word you said.
Reclamation.
Yeah.
Hey, say it again.
I can say dragon though.
We are the dragon.
We are dragon.
We are Dragodon.
That sounds like there's more words in the name. I don't know if I can remember all the ones supposed to be a dragon.
Okay, we can go like this. We can say we are dragon, and it stands for this Dungeoneer Reclamation and what you said. Obtainment Network. Yeah, I remember. Ah.
What? We need the clit.
Nice.
The clit commander.
Click Commanders. That's it. Click Commanders. They look up to us like commanders. We lead the way.
We're not tree dwellers.
No. It'd have to be.
Wait, does it click means initiative? I don't know. Like clicking into action. No, what?
No. Have you never found the clit before?
Yes, I have.
He's gonna roll an insight check. What's Borgio's stats?
Here, hold up. Let me pull them up.
For insight, that is a -1. So he
yeah,
rolled
-1.
So
Cool.
don't tell me what you're gonna roll, but either roll a persuasion or a deception based off of whether or not Arthur has actually ever found a clit before. Let's see. What'd you roll?
6.
Well, I rolled a 9 technically, so
Yeah.
Borgio knows if you've found a clit or not before in your years.
He thinks he has,
Okay.
but he was pretty drunk.
Gotcha. Alright. Let's see. Then he just kind of gives you a questioning glare for a moment. And then immediately goes, City in order? Oh.
What rhymes with? What
I'm really
goes good
partial
with?
to dragon.
What goes good with OCD?
What does OCD stand for?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You guys seem to be the word pumpers here.
Occasionally, characters deliver.
treasures. I don't know, something like that. Overconfident something. I don't know.
This is
Overconfident delinquents. OCD. That's us. Ugh. Got a bit of smoke in my mouth. Fire.
I agree with Arm for the time being. I think Dragon works well going forward, at least until we can come up with something better.
Sure.
I do.
I'm ready to move on.
We are the dragons.
The Dungeon Reclamation and Gold Obtainment Network.
There we go.
Because we didn't.
Got it.
I mean, that's
Hey.
we were all signed to go into a dungeon or basically a mausoleum and retrieve something for coin.
I'm cool
We
with
are
that.
dragon.
We are Dragon.
We are dragons.
Dragon D's nuts.
Scorching them nuts. Oh!
Dragon D's nuts.
Oh! Psychic damage.
Alright, it looks like everybody's starting to gather at the table for the meeting. I think we should join them.
Aye. Let's go. Great talk, everybody. I like how this is going.
Wonderful. So as I get everybody
Jesus.
positioned, as they gather around the table. Alright. Aron's gonna be over here next to Yejin. Alright. So a few moments later, as you decide upon what you will call yourselves, at least for the time being, you all gather around the kind of makeshift, for not really, but kind of banquet table. The smell of freshly cooked meat fills your nostrils as you gather around. A number of individuals start jumping in on the currently prepared meal. Limnor tosses a small haunch over to Coral as she gobbles down the flesh with zero hesitation. And everyone seems to have their attention set forth on the members of Dragon as you all approach.
Ah! Finally! Fine, delightful meal prepared. You outdone yourself once again.
It's just a bit of rat, but thank you, Limnor says.
Hey, you can go far.
Well, it makes do.
But what's important is it's brought all of us together here on this table. Blessed is this moment.
Indeed.
Okay.
So, what is this plan you speak of, as Sesher kind of speaks out from under their hood?
So, like, we're ready to assault the gate and get us all out of here. We think it would be best if we split, because we have quite amount of numbers now. We split the group up of us, and a few go to the Overlook and set up an attack point there, and then the rest of us go from the front, I guess you could say, and attack from there. And those combined forces should keep people safe and be excellent firepower to spread things out. Because I noticed when we encountered some of them, being cluttered together was not good. We need to spread out best we can. So that chamber was really big, so there is plenty of room for all of us, but to have some people high up not being able to be accessed easily might be the key. Yejin has created a fairly large crossbow, a heavy crossbow, that we could mount up in that area, and from there, that assault can be, higher, more firepower. We could put maybe some of the more range-based attackers up there as well.
Well, I'm thinking the OG dredgers go up there on the cliff or whatever it is, outlook, and then Dragon can stick together and make the frontal assault.
Yes, I agree. I was going to suggest Team Dragon
I
leads
think
the frontal assault,
at
giving
least
them the time.
Gabriel should come with us. I think too. Would be helpful, and probably Kragnor and Lemnor both look capable as well. But I don't know what their skill set is. Everybody's skill set. So, I mean,
I just know we agreed on not splitting us up.
Oh, we're not going to split up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with all 6 of us combined, like we did before, we can hold that frontal assault, giving them the opportune moments to lethally strike from above.
Yeah.
Splitting and then joining as one.
I think if me and a few others can make it, perhaps start our journey an hour or two before you, we should be able to get in position before you manage to arrive at the gate. But well, I have no problem wielding my invention, and I know Limnor is pretty capable both with melee and with ranged combat. I think Karagnir and Sesher should probably join me as well. I feel that their skills will be better used if we're trying to get vantage points. I know that they are pretty decent ranged casters in their own right.
Now, question though, what about getting there? I mean, you still have to get there. It's not safe. It's not just like a safe path there. So
that's where I come in. I think I can help with that. I've traveled these tunnels every day. It's how I've kept these people alive. And Limnor kind of steps forward and leans on the table. I've hunted these tunnels for as long as I can remember.
Okay, I trust you. So
I think with
do we have
we can keep them safe?
Any form of communication between different parties or different groups?
I mean, we could diverse some sort of signal from above and below.
I mean, we can come up with some sort of flare system, albeit, for when I guess maybe the one group is ready. Just in case something happens along the way.
I might be able to help with that. I do have this skill. As she begins to kind of whisper into her hand, you see their hand, again, that kind of mannequin-like hand unfolding, and a small bout of a purple flame kind of manifests in the hand for just a moment as she whispers into it, and you can hear kind of in the back of your mind as she whispers to you. I am capable of sending small messages over, relatively decent distance. Give or take roughly 100, 120 feet. How large is the chamber, you say?
Pretty big. It's like 2 or 3 times
119 feet. No.
I think it was like several hundred.
It's about 100 feet or so across, rough estimate.
I should be able to help communicate to some degree, and generally after I use my messaging skill, you can respond for a short time.
My word.
But that might aid in communication. However, if the chamber is as large as you say, I feel a simple shout, and one of us could probably hear it as well.
True. Okay.
And I do know Doyenta, meek as she is, no insult intended. She just kind of rolls her eyes. Is actually decently skilled with that rapier of hers. She kind of looks down. You can see there's a rapier at her side. And I'm not too bad with the weapon in my own right. Abradis kind of jumps in.
Sweet.
I do have this, and he pulls out his great sword from his back. And I've been known to be able to aid in helping to enhance other skills to some degrees. Usually I'm good at finding the weak points. Combined with Karagner's skills, I think we could be of decent help. Granted, again, I do believe Karagner probably would be best traveling with Yezhin to take the overlook position that you referred to. But we'll follow your lead and your call. Wherever you want us, we'll head.
Okay. That sounds good. What about Gustav? Gustav, are you gonna get out of here with us too?
Well, and Braves kind of walks over to the tent where he forges all of his stuff, kind of grabs that kind of framed backpack and grabs Gustav's skull and places it right inside that kind of cup net to where he's just kind of like shoulder scoping right there to Abradis's right. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's much higher up here. Please take me with you. Don't leave me here. I would love to go. I'll help as best as I can.
Oh, thank you, Gustav. That's much appreciated. You've already helped so much enough, but I don't want to leave you here.
Thank you.
Just as much as I don't want to be here, so no offense taken to present company, please.
Of course. So yes, Gustav is accompanying me. So I'd be more than happy to carry some excess weight. And he kind of gently pulls the backpack off and sets it kind of leaning up against the table. So Gustav's skull is just facing towards the table. So just for confirmation of the plan. Confirmation. I, Sesher, and Karagner head towards the Overlook. The rest of the number go through the main entry point, and we take the gate.
Aye.
Yes. Sounds good.
Take it where?
Like we capture it, like we use it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree.
Excellent. Very well. Well, we'll finish up midday meal. Try to get some rest before we start heading off on our journey. Bradis will finish forging the last few bit of weapons and items for the others here, and then follow suit with the rest on your departure. Travel safe.
Yes. We'll see you.
You as well.
See you at the gate.
Aye. And slowly but surely, as everyone begins to kind of finish their meals and lightly hopeful but still slightly concerned, condemnation, unsure of what the next 24 hours will bring, we see as a number of you kind of split off. Sesher goes back to treating the plants, trying to amplify the roots and kind of semi-bioluminescent plants that you brought to them. Limnor kind of begins to pack a number of different sacks filled with the kind of prepared and stationed meats and foods for the journey. For if you are to be successful, rations may be needed along your journey once you finally leave this horrible place. Yezhin begins packing up the kind of mountable crossbow. You watch it as he kind of like folds in certain parts of it. It's actually surprisingly well crafted using the limited supplies he's had access to, but with some of the final tinkering objects that you brought from his old traps, he manages to actually finish off the firing pins, the actual string or cables to help reinforce and maybe provide a more forceful shot. He does manage to do that. Going into quickly trying to head back to her space and chamber to do any sort of last minute research and or studying of the ruins here. Kragnir kind of goes off and starts preparing for the journey in the morning. And Gabriel joins the rest of you at the fire as you guys kind of split off and kind of quietly process what you will be doing for the rest of today and any other decisions that need to be made, or for items that need to be used, etc.
What do we want to do with that enchanting dust?
They said that they can enhance weapons. Is it all of ours, right?
I think
Or
it's just
like
one.
you?
I think it's just one.
It's,
I mean, I have a
weapons and armor.
bow. I have a bow, and my armor could be enhanced. But other than that, I'm not really. If somebody else has something they could use it on,
I
by
got
all
this.
means.
What does it enhance the items? Like, does it double it or what?
You don't know. You just know that he said that he can enhance a weapon or some kind of armor using the armor.
Gabriel.
Somebody's weapon.
Didn't you mention something about your cross thing?
My battle cross, yes.
Battle cross. Yes. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of tinkering tools myself. It was never really a specialty of mine. Usually I had assistance with the Brotherhood with that, but I was hopeful that he might be able to assist. But I don't want to monopolize our one, potential upgrade. So I'll take it if nobody wants it. But
I think one of those new weapons that we got for RN or Bourgeois, more damage, better chance to hit, definitely the way to go. Or
like to do if I would do a weapon, I would do my short bow.
Your short.
Yeah, because I have a sword that's already good, so I
Or
would just need a short bow.
what do you attack more with? It's one of the hits of damage.
50-50.
Okay, well then.
Situational.
Put on your basic crossbow then.
I don't have a crossbow. I have a short bow. Do you even pay attention to me?
Oh.
Or am I that sneaky?
I was essentially saying like going to upgrade a basic item or make one better.
Yeah, technically the arcane dust, and I would say because you and your innate spellcasting ability probably would know that it would be used to take a mundane item and make it magically enhanced. At least that much you would probably know. So, and again, just out of context, based off of what Abrade has said, some kind of upgrade to either armor or weapons.
I'd love to do my short bow.
Yeah, I'm fine with then.
I'd again, like I said, I'd love to enhance my battle cross, but that's only if you guys are okay with that. But
I have this decorative short bow that we found a very long time ago that I'd like for him to enhance if possible. Is it? What? I found this a long time ago. When did I find this thing? Oh man, I think it was like our first trip in here. I found the decorative short bow.
Yeah, it's not a very efficient weapon.
Oh, so it's not like a good weapon. He would need to alter it to.
It's more it's more decoration than actual
Function.
versatile weapon.
All right, so it'd be better for him to use my actual short bow instead.
Probably, if you were going to enhance one.
Okay, then that's what I would do.
Yeah, let's do the bow.
No.
So we got a vote from Gregor, we have a vote from Aaron, we have a vote from Gabriel.
Bourgeois D's.
Borjo looking at his inventory.
Would using it on his chest piece be good? His leather, his rat hide chain shirt.
Certainly would make me harder to hit.
I mean, that's always good.
Yeah, because he's got an AC of 15, just so you're tracking.
Let's get him up. Let's get him up there. He takes a lot of our damage. So I would think let's give it to Borjo.
I mean, Bourgeois really is in the thick of it a lot of times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's make him a little harder to hit. He's already a little more intimidating with that rat cowl. Now he's got
And I mean, to be honest, I'm okay. I'd rather my friends here be set for
Exactly.
success.
I'd rather us have better chance of survival as a group, than me individually. So
I mean,
Yes.
we are dragon.
I vote for better chances of survival.
let's give it to Borjo then. So Borjo, you're gonna take off your new armor piece and let Reyes mess with it for a little while.
You're gonna get it cranked up, buddy.
Yeah, we're to juice you up, buddy.
All right.
Never miss leg day, like you said.
I will go ahead and you spelled rat clow. It's cow. But he will
What?
go ahead. You spelled rat clow like clown without an N. It's COWL.
I thought I put it.
But while you're at it, go ahead and click on customize and give it a +1 to its armor class. Or the armor that it provides.
Cool.
And
Oh man, it won't let me do a +1. Damn.
what do you mean it won't let you do a +1?
When I gotta customize, it says cost override or weight override.
Okay.
But I mean, I can just
easy
put
fix.
+1 on it. But no, I can put +1 on it on here to show that it's +1, and then I'll just customize his armor class.
No, just delete the item, add a chain shirt +1 to his inventory, because that's a thing that exists, and then modify his name to rat cowl, and you're good.
Okay,
so
dope.
that way there's no overrides that fuck with D&D Beyond and the AC if he gets other things later. 'Cause
Word.
once you override, it's stuck like that, and then it messes with all the automated processes. And I guarantee there's a chain shirt +1. Beautiful, excellent, and
Yes, there is, man.
so you guys kind of approach Abradis as he's working. Let him know that you've made your decision, and almost hesitantly goes and gives the rat cowl back to Abradis. There is a chance that this also will have a secondary effect. I have to roll on a d20, and depending on what it rolls, he might get something else that makes sense with the item that it is enchanted with.
Cool. Come on.
That is a natural 20.
Damn.
Okay, I feel
He's
like a
got this-
natural 20 should be fucking...
Make it something awesome.
Rat cow +2. Haha.
No, it's still only getting the +1, but I might give it an extra minor property. So
Okay.
Resistance or something like that, or resistance to.
Shapeshift into a rat.
right, that might be something. I think by default, because again, I just kind of like leaning into this trope. The default, because if it was a success, this is what I was already thinking, is that once a day, or no, a number of times equal to their proficiency modifier. The wearer of the rat cowl may cast darkness on the ground at their feet. In essence, kind of like a darkness smoke bomb, Batman style. And then I'm going to look at minor properties in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I'm just going to roll for a minor property.
So, number of times equal to their modifier.
Their
Does it
proficiency
cause
modifier.
Ginger doesn't cause disadvantage on stealth checks, does it?
It does, I think.
That wouldn't be a bad thing to have.
So I
Can
put
cast
the,
darkness.
on the ground in the same space the player resides.
Okay, can cast. Alright,
So, and then player's handbook. For chain shirt. Actually, no, chain shirt does not impose disadvantage.
no, it
I was
doesn't.
thinking, because I wear that on my paladin, and I don't have disadvantage. So
Gotcha.
There we go. I'll put that into the notes. Yeah.
And since it was a natural 20, I'm going to let you guys roll it for this one. Give me another d20 roll, whoever.
Alright, I got it. Oh, no, that's somebody else.
I just need
Chris,
a
roll.
random d20 roll.
Chris, roll the 10.
You rolled a 10.
Okay.
Oh, that looks awesome.
He also gets the added side bonus of language. The bearer can speak and understand a language of the DM's choice while the item is on the bearer's person. And I'm going to say he can speak rat.
Talk to Nicodemus!
Oh,
Oh,
Very
Nicodemus
nice.
is a mouse or a rat?
No, he's a mouse.
Alright.
Don't they speak the same language? It's gotta be the same language. I guess.
Different
would
creatures.
Yeah, but they both speak eek 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 eek.
I'll say it's probably like a broken,
different accents.
Yeah,
The dialect.
Exactly.
I could just say rodent.
Right? Yeah,
Or
right.
you say rat.
All the
And
same.
also,
I was saying rat.
okay, it's rat.
Because rodent is a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are classified as rodent.
It's
Speak to the capybara.
Right, exactly. So yeah, right now,
Cool.
and this item does become attunement. So if I need to custom make this item, I will later. But for right now, just put it in the notes.
Okay.
That it does require an attunement slot, which I don't think
Yeah.
he's really using.
Also,
right now.
no.
That's cool though. He gathered the leather.
So he can speak and understand, right?
Speak and understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
cool.
gathered the leathers, got it turned into a cowl, and
And got it upgraded to something magical.
yeah,
That's cool.
beautiful, excellent. So, um, and yeah, I just think with rolling language on minor properties, that's just kind of the perfect thing to do. So,
Yeah. There we
somehow
go. Bam.
intrinsically tapping into the life force of what once this cowl, belonged to, it somehow bestows this understanding of an impossible language. Beautiful, excellent.
Sweet.
And a few moments later, we also see that the kind of sort of preserved eye slots as he attunes to it suddenly look like the kind of beady red color kind of phases over the eye slits, making it look like he's got rat eyes, almost.
Wow.
With that kind of those red globules.
Bourgeois, that armor
Does he see red now?
totally fits your image.
He sees as red.
Um.
That'd be bad for his psyche.
Yeah. No. I'm just gonna say what it does is probably. I mean, I guess this is also another magical benefit, but I'll say it gives him dark vision. Because I mean, everybody's got fucking dark vision in 5th edition anyway. So.
Cool.
Like so.
I remember that. You remember that meme? Oh, we all have dark vision. And you're like, well, it was blinding light.
Yeah, blinding light vision? I didn't think so. Beautiful, excellent. So after about 30 minutes to an hour of Abradus working in the arcane dust, the magic takes hold. He redons the armor and attunes to it now that it requires attunement. Gains an additional 1 point of AC, can cast darkness at his feet on the ground, so it's only there, can't be targeted anywhere else, and gains dark vision while also being able to speak with rats. So that's a pretty interesting item, to say the least. So, with the last few remaining hours of the day before the first adventuring party begins to take off, and the night before, is there anything else anybody would like to do? Any carousing? Any preparation?
Just wish them luck before they leave, and we'll see you at the gate.
We'll say Yezhin is here with Karagnir and.
Are we? I'm sorry. Are we gonna long rest before we go again? Or
presumably, yeah.
Okay.
They're just trying to get a head start on their journey, so they're gonna long rest somewhere along the way, obviously with Limnor's guidance and safety.
I got it. Okay.
And you kind of gesture over to Yezhin to bid them farewell and safe journey before they depart. And as he gives you kind of a look of acknowledgement, good luck. And they start departing and heading off on their journey, hopefully with no trouble, to attempt to make their way to the Overlook.
Sesher going with them?
Sesher. What was the original crew that was supposed to go? It was.
Sesher was supposed to go because they could message Limnor
and Karagnir,
and Sesher and Yezhin. And then Abradus was supposed to come with us, Doyenta was supposed to come with us, Gabriel, and Gustav.
Right,
I don't think I'm missing anybody.
Beautiful. Alright, so they begin making their journey, and if all goes well, we'll be able to get everything into position to prepare for the attack made tomorrow.
Okay.
So, with that being said, let's see. Where's the... oops. I don't want premium at... Shit, I just want... a free picture. Alright, so mounted. Here. Potentially. And it must be mounted to be fired. So Yejin will attempt to do that once he gets into that position, if they get there safely. I would like 2 rolls to be made by the party to gauge the successful journey of those departing here. Now, with Limnor actually accompanying them, they gain advantage. This is a survival roll. So, with that being said, how's everyone looking on survival?
I just have a +1.
I have a +5.
But I am halfling.
Borjo has a minus.
Gabriel's got a +4.
I have a minus as well.
So
No,
it
I have a
sounds
+1.
Sounds like the
I have a
professor gets the
+1.
best bet.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me our first roll for their first leg of their journey.
Guidance.
Advantage
18.
too. Roll again.
Okay.
You get advantage. Roll again.
Huh.
There you go, perfect. 18.
Alright. And then I need you to give me a stealth check with advantage from the party, whoever.
Okay, I was like,
You
mine, no.
That would be me.
Yeah, that'd be you.
And this
Oh,
is
fucking
going to
hell.
be their party. Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 +7, so it's 11.
So
Yeah.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
And you got an 18 on survival. Alright.
11 stealth got us out of a pickle earlier, so.
Correct. Beautiful. So you wish them the best of luck on their journey as they start to make their way towards the Overlook, and ideally are successful in their endeavors. Doyanta stays up as late as she can, but eventually heads to the barracks to, for the first time, sleep in the kind of more communal space than remaining in her makeshift home within the cell. Gustav giving direction and guidance to Abradus as he pushes himself harder and harder to help repair and enhance Doyanta's rapier, and of course to be able to provide any armor or weapons if people wish to purchase some. It'll be at an incredibly discounted rate. But do be aware that you cannot buy anything that's over 50 gold from the player's handbook. So
I'm just trying to see. Maybe I can. Trying to think if there's a better like armor piece for me.
I can show it to you right now in terms of...
I mean, I'm more than just regular leather, so I don't know if
Studded leather, maybe.
studded leather.
I'm copying the table now.
Actually, I would like a shield, because I would just boost my AC up a couple.
Dude.
Do you have
But you're
proficiency
not
with shields?
you're not proficient with shield.
I don't. So never mind.
I mean, you can wield a shield, it just means you won't be able to cast spells.
Oh yeah.
Um, unfortunately, that's how it kind of works.
And you said
Um,
nothing over 50?
Nothing over 50. Yeah, he's learned how to do
Yeah.
some blacksmithing here, but again, he is no master blacksmith. Um, so
Can I get some of that gold, Arthur? I want to get a studded leather.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, Borjo, come here real quick. Let me. As I ruffle through the bag. Go. Here you go. How much gold you need?
Yes, how much is the studded leather armor, sir?
I'll be able to do that for you for 35 gold pieces.
Arthur, can I get 35 gold pieces, please?
Yep. Hold on. Bear with me, Borjo. Ah.
Alright, we'll
Yeah.
wait here.
Here you go.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
And you receive one set of studded leather, matching an appearance of however you'd like it to be. Um, what does this studded leather look like as you adorn this?
Well, it's studded. It's
Yeah.
leather. It's probably very similar to what he was just wearing.
Okay.
In terms of items, it's just like some shoulder pads and then the chest plate, the breastplate. It's all like one piece.
Gotcha.
You know, uh, that's about it.
Alright.
Nothing too fancy because it's just basic.
Tracking.
But I have a armor class of 15 now. I'm catching up, Borjo. You just wait.
There's also weapons for those that want weapons. And then potential adventuring gear depending on what it is that you're looking for.
Stock up on some extra. What do you call it? Torches. But I don't think we need those anymore. That's why I got my sword.
This is correct. Alright, and
We should get a crossbow.
in the adventuring gear, technically, unlike the armor and weapons, the thing is that you can get the most of in terms of most value, nothing over 15 gold on the adventuring gear in price.
Oh.
And y'all just let me know if there's anything that catches your eye.
Already got all the fun stuff. Are there any healing potions around camp?
Give me an investigation check.
Right here. Come on. Halflink. Noise. 14?
14. You look around the camp as best you can. Unfortunately, with a 14, you don't locate any healing potions around the camp. Unfortunately,
I'm too short. Because I'm too short. Oh well.
we pan in
I
on
still have that one.
really high shelf, which you just
Yep.
can't see. But you would presume if there was anybody to be able to purchase a potion from, it would have been probably Sesher, and they are
Long gone.
long gone now at this point, at least 2 hours into their journey. And I don't believe you have any kind of alchemy skills, correct? No? Okay.
I don't believe so, no. No. Disguise kit, thieves' tools.
Gotcha.
Dice set.
So, as Abradus concludes working on a great deal of equipment that he's been working on, both his armor, trying to repair any armor that you all have that have been slightly damaged through the wear and tear of travel. Gustav and Abradus make their way towards the barracks and try to get some modicum of sleep tonight before the big journey and battle tomorrow. You kind of find yourselves, for the first time ever since being in this place, alone with yourselves here, gathered around the fire, seemingly campsite devoid of all others now that most have left. And you're all just kind of staring into the flickering firelight, thinking of the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You remember meeting each other in Lunsk, talking to the Nightseer Sage, journeying far and wide to find the penumbral vestibule, smote by a voracious sunburst attack from one entity that I believe one of you now believes may go by the name of Casimir Sundrinker. Because, again, you, Professor, know this. Whether you share that with the party before bed rest, that's entirely up to you. But
I think I should.
That is something you learn. Okay, well then, role play it. How do you tell everybody?
You should be helping Doyenta finish her stuff. Maybe you can give her advantage on her rolls or something. So she can finish doing all the research, man, and then get some points with her. Found check, wow.
Well,
Yes, the odds will be in your favor.
Has retreated to the barracks for the evening to get some sleep, so.
I mean, you could always have study time, right?
Well, she's already got into bed.
Yeah.
She's gone to the barracks. I mean, that's about all you know.
Oh.
So I gotta tell my friends about this day drinker thing. What was it? Day drinker?
No. It was a
One way alcohol.
Sun drinker.
Yeah.
Day drinking.
Yeah.
Nice. The day drinker.
You think back to when she was recounting her notes and translating there, and you remember the name Casimir Sundrinker.
Yeah, so I kind of ask Arn and Arthur and Gregor and Borjo if they've ever heard of this Casimir Sundrinker.
They are more than welcome to make a history check, but I will let you know this is going to require an incredibly high roll to be able to recall anything. I will say...
Nope.
You got 20.
20.
Natural 20 or dirty 20?
30. I won.
Borjo got a 15, Arthur a 13.
Okay.
I got something low, like a 12 or whatever.
Okay. Gabriel will roll. It's cocked. I don't think that's high enough.
Am I telling Gabriel too?
He's gathered at the fire with you.
He is a member of the Dragons for now.
Is he though?
Honored guest. Oh.
Honorary member?
Honorary member.
So, gather around the flames. You think back and recall this moment you had earlier with Doyenta. What do you say to your party members, Archimedes?
Something along the lines of, the Sun Drinker person. I don't know.
You mean you don't know?
I don't know all the background and stuff. What am I supposed to say?
You're an archaeologist. Shouldn't you know this stuff?
You say
I
what you
literally
learn.
am not. Yeah, I learned about a person named Sun Drinker.
Sun Drinker.
So you could tell them that while you were visiting Doyenta, you discovered something. She showed you an
Yeah.
engraving on the wall, and I'm not doing it for you. So,
Good luck.
All right.
You got this.
it's basic roleplay. You just recount what you do know as a player.
That's just what I've forgotten. So
I'm
there's
leaving
a
you.
there's a Sun Drinker person, and Doyenta is involved with it, and told me about it. Showed me.
Involved with the Sun Drinker. What?
What's a sun drinker?
Fuck if I know.
Sounds like something we need to investigate on our journey,
No, because
I guess.
definitely not relaying the most important thing.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I think Archimedes, being an archaeologist, would remember.
Yeah, he would. I wouldn't.
Thank you.
Is basically, I'll do it for you, but basically, you
Sorry.
found Doyenta showing you not just the writing and engravings,
Yeah.
but the actual pictographic representation of this individual that bore a striking resemblance to the same individual that took your lives and threw you into whatever this place is.
Ah, yeah, that's it.
So why would there be a picture of him? Well, I guess there's obviously a reason why there's pictures of him here, but he's a lich now. So whatever he did. Probably got rid of the sun, and no longer has all these crazy powers. And that's why we no longer have the sun. So this place is
Interesting.
probably, like Diane said, very ancient.
Yeah.
Archimedes, give me a history check.
Wow.
Not the best. 8.
I mean, yeah, this place is old. I will say that you recall Doyenta saying that small bits of the ruins here seem to be from an ancient city that has been long since lost and forgotten. But that's pretty much all you get with an 8.
So
Okay.
like maybe he like sacrificed some city, and this is where it ended up to turn into this place, and he uses whatever's here to give him powers, lich powers, and that's why he's always more people are becoming added every so often.
Yes,
or maybe this is something
he
from.
Like leeching off our energy.
darkness.
Well, it could also be some sort of thing that, like, the sun goddess is trying to do to prevent, to bring it back, to bring her back, because, I mean, there was obviously some sort of divine entity that spoke to me, and I believe to all of us, and then we were awake again, so I don't know. There's still pieces missing in this puzzle.
This is probably our second chance to end this monstrosity, this foul thing that has stolen the sun from this world, created all this suffering. That's gonna freaking end today.
Yeah, let's go do this gate fight.
I do want to make it explicitly clear. The events of the Darkfall and the area and lands that it affects is specifically within the lands of Astoya. This world is not entirely without a sun. Any of the neighboring nations still see sunlight throughout their normal daytime. It's when the sun would be over the lands of Astoya. Instead of seeing the sun, it's like almost like a negative picture, right?
Gotcha.
A negative of a picture where instead of a kind of a white and black, it's basically a blackened sun with kind of like a red ring around it. And the land itself during daytime in Astoya is very much just kind of a darkened red light, where the sun should be. But everywhere else, there is technically sunlight. So, and as for when Arum kind of makes a call that, maybe the goddess of the sun might be involved in this in some way, shape, or form, you do feel a kind of longing and sadness, Arthur, as suddenly you are thrust back to your childhood, gathered around the hearth, as you recall your grandfather, mother, and father telling stories of the sheer beauty of her divinity, to be in her presence, Aurelia, and how that connection has been long since lost, since they fell from the heavens. And you can't help but think back to home, think back to the family you've left behind, to where this journey might take you going forward. And a small glimmer of hope that perhaps through vengeance you might be able to reestablish that connection once again, as you also recall hearing the words, "Death is not the end." And as you have these discussions, Professor, you also recall, while looking at the depiction on the stone ruins, the robed figure that was depicted there very much possessed the same visage that you had all met him with, a skull-like head like that of a lich.
Yeah.
That whenever this person of import, this Casimir Sundrinker, had been depicted here, he had already been, in some way, shape, or form, in lich form, and yet was revered within this city.
Mm.
And that leaves you with more questions than answers from everything you know of when it comes to liches. However, as you all process the newly shared information or reminisce on times long have since passed, and prepare for a night's rest and a journey out to face the Ditch Guardian themselves, we'll go ahead and call the session there.
Okay.
Ah!
Now, if we hopped into combat now, it would go for way too long.
Sorry I was late.
No, it's all good. But I think, like I said, I think that's a good cutoff point. You guys have done a lot of prep, solid RP, dropped off all your stuff, rallied the troops, getting things staged and ready to go to where, starting tomorrow or next sesh or whatever, you guys will be ready for, well, for the biggest battle you guys have faced yet. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely looking forward to seeing where next session takes us and what lies beyond the ditches themselves. But we'll go ahead and end the recording there.